Over winter break of 2020, we were so lucky to be able to visit the beautiful Havana, Cuba with Julian Zabalbeascoa.
While abroad, we took classes with passionate Cuban professors and explored the history of Havana with the wonderful guides we had with us, Anna and Emily.
We learned so much more about Cuba than we'd known before, and it showed us how much perspective really matters.
As expected, arriving in Cuba gave us a pretty big culture shock. The cars were old, the buildings were almost antique, and not a single person seemed to be in a rush.
While in Cuba, we and the 10 other students stayed in La Residencia de Natalia, who took care of us while we were there.
Living in the middle of a Cuban neighborhood, ours being Veradero, allowed us to dive into the new world we had entered. We had free time to explore the neighborhood, and we met so many people, all of which were so friendly.
In class, we were taught about Cuba-US relations, and it was extremely enlightening. It was very interesting to be able to see the views of Cubans on our country and on theirs in comparison to how Americans view the two.
We also learned about the culture, the music, the diversity, and more. Learning about each of them was such a fun experience.
The biggest difference between our country and Cuba, in our opinion, is the presence and importance of community. People are kind to one another in Cuba, whether they're strangers or not.
We had an even bigger culture shock returning to the US. Kindness seems to be lacking in our country since we've returned, and it's because we've seen how easy it is to be kind for no reason at all. We hope one day Americans can share the amazing experience that we did in Cuba.